Hey there, guys. Welcome back to a brand new Flick Pick live show late night edition. How are all you vampires doing? I don't know what that was. Either way, thanks for joining me once again for a brand new live show where we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Movies, life, anything goes. And with all of that said, let me crack open this caffeinated beverage here because I was feeling a little bit sleepy 10 minutes ago, but sleep is for the weak and the innocent. But real quick, before we dive into it, one cool thing I do want to mention is this weekend I went to MegaCon in Orlando, Florida with a group of other YouTubers, Austin Burke, Cody Leach, Sean Chandler, Chris Parker from 3C Films, and we all got together, hung out, had some good conversation, and I'm going to show you guys some pictures because the coolest thing at the event, besides the panels and talking movies with those guys, was meeting you guys. And I'm going to show you some pictures here. And the first one is right here. I try to get a snapshot with everyone who came to meet me on day number 2, and I was blown away. You know, it was really flattering to meet you guys, and everyone who came up to me had a backstory about how they discovered my channel, and they told me their favorite video. One guy told me that he literally listens to my Blu-ray collection videos as he falls asleep because the sounds of my voice soothe him. That made me feel really good. So yeah, look at all those beautiful, magical, mystical faces there. And then here's some more pictures of you beautiful bastards there. Some snapshots of the panels. But man, just meeting everyone, it was really humbling and flattering. And some people had been watching me for 58 years on YouTube since they were 7 years old. And now they're senior citizens. The math doesn't make sense, but you get what I'm saying. And one cool thing to top off the entire experience was this right here. Look at that. Look at those. Look at that. Look at me right there, standing there, right beside the Fonz. Did you hear what I said? I'm standing beside fucking Fonzie. Could you ever believe that? I used to grow up watching Happy Days on Nick at Night, and here I am standing beside the Fonz. Hey, and then the screencast is there too, and my YouTube pals. But man, oh man, what a good time. I couldn't believe it. So those are a quick few updates. I just wanted to show everyone's beautiful faces here on a live stream. And really from the bottom of my dilapidated dark heart, I do want to say it was cool. It sort of, in all honesty, to keep it real with you, meeting everyone sort of energized me. It like woke me up. It gave me a breath of fresh air for YouTube. It sort of motivated me and lit a little fire into my ass because everyone was like, John, I love when you upload. You should do it more. And I was like, oh, there's real people that watch my videos that like them. Oh, sometimes you kind of just forget. It fades away. So yeah, that was nice. So I'm coming back, baby. Just get ready. Get ready. So with all that said, let's just dive into the questions. Let's talk about whatever you guys want to talk about because I don't have anything else to say besides that. So thanks, guys. If you came, thank you. And if you're just watching now, thank you. What more can I ask for? Here we go. The first one is it's gonna come from somebody. I saw it here. Here it is. I can't even see with these glasses on, so let's take those off. Perzival says, how you doing, my man? Missed you tons. Love you. I love you too, man. I love you too. And I was giving out hugs and high fives. If someone wanted a hug this weekend, I was giving it. If they wanted a high five, so be it. But at least I took a selfie. The next one comes from Max Neugenbauer. How's it going, Max? Rip to Tom Sizemore. Or is it Tom Sizemore? Is it Sizemore or Sizemore? Either one sounds right to me right now. It's getting late. Best movie of his was Saving Private Ryan, one of the best of all time, and his worst is True Romance and overrated Crap Fest. I'm going to disagree on the Crap Fest, but yes, rest in peace, Tom Sizemore. Sizemore. But rest in peace. I would say Saving Private Ryan would probably be his best. But man, did you just call True Romance a crap fest? I would say it's not my favorite screenplay by Tarantino, by a long shot, but not a crap fest. John, are there any reason pickups in new films you saw recently? Okay. Are there any recent? Okay, I think I'm going to guess the word there. Yes, Percival, there is. I have a few new movies I'm including in a Flick Trip video. A few movies were sent to me recently, and I'm waiting on a few others. Also, quick mention, if you care, it's okay if you don't. But I did a really cool unboxing. Hang on, I'll show you what I unboxed earlier. Look at this shit. Look at that. It's me, the Flick Pick. So yeah, there's a unboxing of that over on my Instagram, my Facebook page, and right here on the shorts page of this channel. If you want to watch it, I unboxed a whole bunch of Mario stuff that he sent me, free toys. I was like, why not? I want some cool free stuff, including a Mario hat and a little Princess Peach doll. Don't ask what I'm going to do with it. That's none of your business. But check that out if you want to, and if you do, give that shit a thumbs up. It does help. And I am seeing Super Mario Bros. The movie, whatever they're calling it, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, tomorrow at some point, and I will put out a review. Here's all I want. Is it going to be better than the 1993 Abomination Against Humanity? Honestly, it probably will be, technically speaking, but I don't know. Something about John Leguizamo playing Luigi just always really just fascinated me. What is this, a giant booger or something? Yes, it is. And the movie itself was a giant booger. Night King 01, how's it going, man? I want to take a moment to acknowledge that Batman is not a fascist, as George Lopez states in the Blue Beetle trailer. It sucked also. Well, let's talk about the Blue Beetle trailer, shall we, just for one moment. Now, keep in mind, this was originally slated to hit HBO Max as a streaming movie, and then they looked at it and said, this looks okay, let's crap it out into theaters. Now, some of the superhero movies coming out to theaters, I wouldn't say the bar is that high. I'm talking to you, Black Adam. But as far as the Blue Beetle trailer goes, going into it, I didn't really care. I don't know much about the character, and judging by the trailer, it sort of looks like a CW superhero show with a little bit of Iron Man-esque to it. Also, the main actor in that, the kid from Cobra Kai, he's not a kid anymore. He's like in his mid-20s. I actually did see him at MegaCon. I was like 15 feet away from him as he walked to his little table there to sign autographs for $150 a pop. But I did see him. As far as the Blue Beetle trailer goes, I'll watch it. You know, I'm not going to crap on it too hard. And I don't really have a lot to say about it. It just sort of looks like a new comic book movie, right? As far as the ending quote, Batman is a fascist, I don't know where they're coming from with that, because if you look up the definition of what a fascist is, you believe in dictatorship and one ruler to reign over everyone. And isn't Batman all about justice and the law and doing what's right and keeping those who should be in power and getting rid of the corrupt? Where is this coming from? I guess it sounded cool to them, or did they not know the definition of the word? I don't comprehend it. Either way, it did kind of like go, and every channel, I knew instantly when they said that line, every channel who covers wokeness in movies, whatever that shit means nowadays, I couldn't tell you. But I was like, oh, they're going to have a field day with that. I was like, you just gave them fuel for their fire for the next 6 weeks. So man, either way, the Blue Beetle trailer, bleh. That's my review. I'm sorry. And I call myself a critic. Anyway, the next one is going to come from, let's back up here for a second here. Let's just back up and slow down. Here we go, baby. All right. Bruce Cook. John, you're just in time to interrupt my tax return work. Thank you. Taxes? What's that? You don't have to do that. That's optional. You don't got to do it, man. It'll be fine. It'll work itself out. All right. But yeah, if I can just give you a break for a few minutes of the day, that's the least I can do. Just keep listening to my stupid voice as you do your taxes and overpay the government for nothing. But yeah, thanks for joining me, man. And by the way, guys, this is going to be sort of like a 1 hour live show tonight. So at around 1 o'clock, I'm going to try to end it. So if you got anything juicy to get in, let's do it now, because I'm going to go lay with the lady friend in bed and finish Waterworld starring Kevin Costner drinking his own piss, because she has never seen the movie, and we're only halfway through the first act, and we have to get to the rest of this. All right. All right. The next one comes from Night King. Oh, we already answered this. Rewatch Ryan. Here we go. Just wanted to say hey and glad you enjoyed MegaCon. I watched every live show but never say anything. Much love to you, bro. Well, thanks for that, man. And thanks for the super chat, man. And it does mean a lot. Just really the only thing I can ask of you guys is just to watch the videos. Really, that's all I really require. But nevertheless, thank you so much. Thank you for that, Ryan. Michael Parton says, the Barbie trailer looks flames. It looks pretty badass. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward to that shit. I actually talked about that this weekend during the panel, I believe, at one point. I'm looking, anytime you can make a trailer, and it's called the Barbie movie, and I'm a dude in his mid-30s, and you can make me want to watch that movie, it did its job. And I like how it's not catering to, like, little girls. It's going to be a self-aware comedy. What more could you want? Oh, yeah? You want Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie? You got it. So I'm looking forward to that. Blend that up and put it in my mouth. All right, the next one. The next one comes from Gary Brooks. How's it going, Gary, man? Hey, John. Just before I saw John Wick 4, I rewatched the whole franchise again and forgot that Halle Berry was in Chapter 3, and it was one of her best/better movies. I don't think her performance was bad per se. I just think it was useless. The entire sequence where they go into the desert in John Wick 3 and Halle Berry is there, standing there. I don't even remember what she does. I just thought, wow, this did not need to happen. It sort of bogged down the pacing of the movie. And I vaguely remember John Wick 3. It was probably my least favorite of the franchise. It really was. And I feel like John Wick 4 sort of gave me what I needed back in a John Wick film. Because for me, I thought 2 was okay, and then 3 kind of just was like, okay, same shit again. Like, I get that we love Keanu and the action scenes and stuff, but it just wasn't enough. It really wasn't. And then John Wick 4, I was like, that's the shit we needed, and I got it. Oh yeah, what's that? Donnie Yen? Yes, please. He's blind, and he's kicking ass. Phenomenal character. He's one with the Force. Why is Donnie Yen blind in every movie where he kicks ass? I don't know. Ask Rogue One. But thanks for the super chat, man. Thank you so much. I want to give you guys hugs. Don't make it weird. All right. Lou, killing it, man. Dude, why are you so fucking generous? But thanks, man. Thank you for that, Lou. Here it goes. Lou's question. Downloaded your vids before hiking. Laugh out loud. Some of your flick trips give me a weird anxiety from your interactions, so it pushes me further through the trail. I usually do have the effect to make people run away quick, so I guess you're welcome for that. Your vids are like backpacking mixed with film discussion. Interesting. I'll take it. Thank you for that, man. Where'd you hike to? How was it? That's awesome. Yeah, I need to put this shit on Spotify or iTunes and make a podcast out of it. That way you can just simply stream it and download it. It makes life so much easier. That is the plan. My plan is to take the audio from these, edit it just slightly to condense it, and upload the audio as a podcast at some point. So I'll make life easier for you, Lou. But thank you for the question. Shut Up Cat Productions. How's it going? I just showed your face a few minutes ago. Either way, I met Shut Up Cat Productions this weekend. Really nice guy, longtime viewer of the channel. Really nice guy. And also, I met Shut Up Cat Productions' dad, who showed up at the convention and met me as well. I shook his hand. Really nice guy. Has a very strong East Coast accent. Hey, how you doing? Eh? This is my little stupid kid here. I don't mind him. I liked your dad quite a bit. But here it goes. Nice to finally meet ya and troll ya in the flesh. Yes, your question about Donnie Yen, but I liked how I got to shut you down and you walked away. It was a good time. Anyway, how's the Bane Funko Pop doing? It's doing pretty good. I don't know. I might give it to my nieces or nephews because they like toys. I don't know what I'm going to do with a little Bane Funko Pop. I've told myself a long time ago, and don't take this the wrong way, guys, I just feel like I'm at a point in my life where I can't collect Funko Pops. I know. I know, it's crazy. I don't, they have like the big round little baby heads and little bodies, and they look like the little baby fetuses made out of plastic. I don't know what to do with them. I'm all for collecting crazy movie shit. I like Hot Toys. I like fun retro stuff, but little Funko Pops, I've had this debate throughout the weekend with a few other people who collect Funko Pops religiously, and I just can't get into them. Am I the only one? Am I crazy? Either way, let's continue the question. I ran around the con trying to get autographs, and I tried to sell my P Oreos for an S Giggles. Never expected to sell them. I kind of understand what you were saying there, but either way, I think he was trying to get autographs to sell them. I told him just go to eBay. It makes life so much easier. The Warriors is so boring for Max Neugebauer. How the... What? Wait, what? Did you just say the Warriors from the 1970s is boring? Can you dig it? I don't know, man. I don't know. You have to give me more context on why you think it's boring. Anyway, I love it. The next one comes from Carter Lovejoy. Moana is getting a live-action remake treatment. Disney is just super desperate at this point by remaking a 7-year-old movie. I wish this live-action remake train would really fully stop. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to do well. Moana was not... I wasn't a big fan of it. I thought it was like... it was okay. It was okay. I wouldn't classify it as a classic by any means. So I assume, is The Rock going to star in the movie? Is it live action? Is like pure live action? It's like not motion capture or something. Yeah, man, I just don't care. To be honest with you, I just don't care. Does anyone care? It's kind of sad. Of all the stuff you could remake into live action from the Disney Vault, that's the one they're reaching their grubby little greedy hands in to make? I don't know. Doesn't seem necessary. But thanks for the question. Night King 01 says, I was making a joke, by the way. Yes, the line made no sense, but those channels, man, I know they are overreacting just a tiny bit, don't you think? No, I agreed with what you said about the line at the end of Blue Beetle, man, completely. It just felt odd. I get that they wanted to make like a Batman reference, but it just like calling him a fascist just doesn't. It just doesn't make sense, I guess. I would like to know their definition of that. Either way. Okay. The next one comes from Will H. Johnny Flickpig. We love these live streams. You do a great job, man. If anything, you want to do more of them. They are more magical and mystical when they are random, though. Well, this is pretty random, isn't it? I mean, I keep it random as I can. I let you guys dictate the questions. I really do. I mean, whatever you ask is what I talk about. So I let the people dictate the live shows. The freedom is yours. Do with it as you please. Do with it as you please. Blackgate Prison. All right, let's go to the next one before I start doing more shitty Bane impressions. Claudio Rogujon. You should do cons in Virginia. I just go where they take me, man. And MegaCon in Orlando was pretty huge. And we did a con the week before that in Cleveland. And it was busy. There were a lot of people, a lot of celebrities. And the panels, there wasn't a ton of people at them. And the MegaCon that we did in Orlando was jam-packed. Like the panel that we did 3 panels. Each one was packed. There was people standing in the back. And it was awesome. So I just go with where the people are and wherever I'm invited. I'm not picky. Just give me a plane ticket, give me a hotel room, I'll be there. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. Almost anything. Okay, I'll do anything. The next one comes from Kane. How's it going, Kane? Can you make a short video one day of a tour of your room and maybe a link to your LEDs? Also, I'm the dude that sent you the big Hulk figure years ago. Oh, that was you? So I had two Hulk figures. I vaguely I had two. I'm sure you sent the. I don't remember which one. I think you sent the one that. Did you send the one that kind of had like the weird face to it? I still have that somewhere in a box, man. But thanks for that. Yeah, I do want to do a room tour video. And I want to do a theater room tour video. The thing is, this room is like 96.5% complete. There was just one shelf I wanted to put up and some movie posters to just finalize everything in here to give you guys a conclusive tour. But I will, and I'll link everything in the tour video. All the equipment I use, the cameras, the lights, the tripods, the shelves, the arcade machines, the deodorant I put under my armpits, whatever you guys want, I'll tell you what it is. Charmin Extra, double ply toilet paper. You guys know all the essentials. But yeah, man, I'll definitely do one. Matthew Jensen. How's it going, Matthew? And thanks for the... You guys, dude, you guys are too nice, man, with super chats. Thanks, guys. It does help. I'm not going to lie to you. That shit does help. Here it goes from Matthew Jensen. Would you like to see a Joseph Gordon-Levitt Robin movie by Nolan? Maybe have an older Bruce Wayne make an appearance. You know, I think the time has passed for that. I think we all speculated at the end of The Dark Knight Rises that would in fact be the situation going forward, or they at least alluded to it, right? And I just feel like the time has passed, especially with the new Batman, The Brave and the Bold, or whatever the new DC Batman movie coming out is, where you have Damian Wayne as Bruce Wayne's son in there, which will kind of take the place of like a Robin / Nightwing character. So I think that's kind of the direction they're going. And I just think the Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Christopher Nolan era it's done. Plus Joseph Gordon-Levitt isn't really that young anymore. He's not like a young dude anymore. So yeah, I think it's done, but had that come out like in 2014, okay, we could have done something there. I mean, had HBO Max existed back in like 2014, I could see a series revolving around a Robin-esque character played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, based on the same character he was in The Dark Knight. I could see that being like a really well-done series. But yeah, the time has passed. Joseph Noel says, do you still have a Vegemite from Cosplay Chris? Do I still have the Vegemite from Cosplay Chris? No. And if you don't know what Vegemite is, it's like this jelly spread that tastes like pure salt and ass juice scraped off the bottom of a barnacle under a ship that has rusted and decayed for 87 years. And you spread it on like bread and toast. That's what Australian people do. It's the most utterly disgusting thing ever. So no, I don't have that Vegemite anymore that he sent me. The next one comes from Tom Hernandez, who says, hey, would you ever do a flick trip with Austin B? Austin Burke, my buddy? Yeah, sure. If he's around and I'm around, I wouldn't mind. I mean, we do meet up for screenings, and he was in Orlando with me. We actually shared a room together. Separate beds. But really, let me tell you a story real quick. When we went to the hotel in Orlando, it was a nice hotel. But the room basically had the bathroom and the shower in the room. And the only thing separating it was like a plastic see-through wall that covered like half of it. And if you just kind of looked to one side, there was a huge mirror that went right into the toilet, right into the shower, right into the sink. So we made the agreement, okay? Whenever someone else is in the shower, you have to look either right at your phone or look right at the TV. Your peripheral vision does not exist at that point. When you hear water running or urine flowing, you have to look right at the TV. Because if you looked any other direction, dude, you just see the dude back there. Just like, it was so close when I was, it was so, oh God. I'll just put it this way. He could literally hear me splashing my balls in the water, okay, when I was showering. Okay, that's how close it was. But it was a nice intimate experience between two dudes, and I think that's necessary, okay? Don't make it weird. I just think that's the thing missing in society. So anyway, it was a nice experience, and yes, I guess if I can basically shower with the guy, I guess I can do a flick trip. So yes, the point being, I can do one. The next one comes from let's just get to another topic here. Your name here. And by the way, guys, if you guys are YouTube members, at the very end of the live show or towards the end, chime in, ask everything you guys want. I'm trying to get to you guys when I see you throughout the chat, so I'm going to dedicate the last few minutes to you guys, or if you guys want to chime in now. So here it goes. Your name here says, "Hi, John Wick 4 was good. Was a good end to the franchise. No complaints. Wishing you and your girlfriend the best, brother. Feel free to cut us off to get back priorities." I'm not going to cut you guys off. She can just go to bed by herself, okay? You guys are the priority right now. But yeah, man, I feel like the ending to John Wick 4 was good. It was satisfying. It was the logical conclusion. I was happy with it. And they're doing a spin-off movie called The Ballerina. So it could be good. I like the actress they have. Sebastian says, Scott Adkins was awesome in John Wick 4. Yeah, when I was watching that, I didn't know it was him. Like, I knew it was somebody I recognized, but he had a huge fat suit on. But the way he was moving, I was like, okay, who is that? I couldn't put my finger on it. And yeah, man, he was pretty badass in that role. One of the better Scott Adkins performances in a long time, or at least one of the more memorable ones. They need to put him in more movies. All right, the next one comes from Taylor Goodwin. The ending of John Wick 4 reminded me of The Warriors. Oh, no. It was The Warriors, man. They literally copy and pasted The Warriors for about 5 minutes. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've seen The Warriors, the way the narrative throughout that film works is it has a lady, a radio DJ lady with like a nice afro, very 1970s, and she's like, "Hey, all you beboppers, the Warriors are going downtown. Be on the lookout." You know, it's kind of narrated with that. And they did that exact copy and paste thing in John Wick 4. And they even played the exact same music that they did in The Warriors. So, yeah, it wasn't that it reminded you. It was. They took that shit. Max Nugenbauer says, "I'm going to go. Good night, John." Well, good night, Max. Good night. Sleep tight, sweet prince. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, Anna de Armas. She will be in The Ballerina. Yes, please. Give me more. The next one comes from Lou, who says, "Watch Blue Velvet." It's on the list, man. It's on the list. You got to listen. I don't just watch movies to watch movies, okay? I have to be in the proper mindset. I have to be in the right state of mind. The weather has to be right. The precipitation needs to be right. The lighting, the ambiance, everything needs to fall perfectly into place for me to watch a certain movie. That's what I do. Movies to me are an immersive experience, and if everything else around me isn't immersive, well, I'm not going to watch the movie. So I'm waiting till the right time. What is the right time to watch Blue Velvet? I'm not quite sure, but I'm getting there. The next one. All right, you had another question here. Hope we're not hyping it up too much, but it really is a good watch. Lynch can be weird, but this is a pretty straightforward film. Yeah, also you had the Straight Story. Speaking of straight story movies, The Straight Story. About a man riding a lawnmower. That was okay. InHomes25 says, "No energy drink tonight, Johnny Flick." It's right here, man. Always and forever. Sipping on the Zoa energy drink. Because you know The Rock needs more money. Lou says, "Babylon would have been great if it cut most of the intro and focused on Brad and Margot. Felt like the side actor was living out the director's fantasy." It was a very indulgent movie. And I'll be completely honest with you, I didn't finish it. I almost wanted to fast forward it, and I was like, no, I can't. I just kind of stopped. I'll get back to it one day, probably not, but it just felt so self-indulgent and off the rails, and I get it, like everyone was on coke when they were making the movie or something, like it was just the most batshit crazy, bizarre movie ever, and I was like, okay, it just feels like there's no narrative here, and it's a never-ending sequence of events, and I just wasn't in the mood for that, so I probably went and watched Point Break or something instead. Something pure and unadulterated. Shut Up Cat Productions back again. I would have debated more, but I had to go. Part 2. Would you have? What would your comeback of that been? You said something about Donnie Yen. I don't remember this specifics of your question, but Cody Leach says, rank. Oh, how's it going, Cody Leach? My next door neighbor during our stay in Orlando, man, and my good times, man. And by the way, it's because of Cody Leach that we got the cool Scream photo. And he's the reason I got to stand next to the living legend himself, Fonz. What a gentle old man he was. At first, I'll keep it real with you. When I walked up to Fonzie, he was standing there and he wasn't moving. And I thought I mean this in the most respectful way I can say it. I thought he was a mannequin. I'm not going to lie. And I got just close enough to feel the warmth of his body. And I was like, oh, that's so soothing. But how's it going, Cody? All right, here's the question. Rank these by sexiness. The Shower Mirror, Sean Steak, or Hellboy. Oh, oh, just kill me now. So I talked about the mirror earlier in the restroom. It was the most homoerotic experience of my life, and that's saying something from a guy who used to take extra long showers after weight class in high school. I know that sounds weird, but we had this game we played anyway. Sean Steak, my buddy Sean ate a steak that was literally roadkill. They scooped up roadkill, they put it on his plate. They didn't even cook that shit. They didn't even have the decency to cook it. But I'm going to say the worst one is by far Hellboy. The sexiest one is probably Sean Steak. I don't know. Thanks for the question, man. Night King 01 says, you know what makes me mad? Barbie. I'm pretty sure I'm out there. Let's back up here because that question just literally gave me dyslexia. Here we go. You know what makes me mad? Barbie, I'm pretty sure is out the same day as Oppenheimer, which means Oppenheimer won't do well and Nolan needs some love. Okay, here's the thing, man. Those are two tonally very polar opposite movies. Oppenheimer, a movie based on historical events, epic in tone. The Barbie movie, Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie, living in a Barbie world, a fantasy, driving pink cars, wearing spandex, and rollerblading. Don't get me wrong, I want to see both of them. But I think two very different demographics of people are going to go to both movies. So I don't think they're going to have a lot of conflict with each other. So I think they'll be just fine. Carter Lovejoy says, Oppenheimer comes out this. Did we just answer this? I know you guys. Okay, here we go. Oppenheimer comes out the same day as Barbie. Which one are you seeing first? All right. Probably Oppenheimer. I would say probably Oppenheimer. I do want to see the Barbie movie, don't get me wrong, but I think the Nolan historical epic will probably be my preference. Now, keep in mind, there might be a screening to one of them and a screening to not. I don't know. I'm hoping to get a screening to at least one of those movies, so that's one I will go to first. Maybe I'll get a screening to both of them. I don't know. But if I had to pick, I'm probably going to go with Nolan. I'm hoping he redeems himself from Tenet. Paul Fern says, hi, I'm from Cornwall, UK, John. Well, how's it going in Cornwall, UK, man? MKF30 says, hey, John, what would you say is your most hated DCEU and MCU movie that you just hate and never want to see again, and it makes you just want to pluck the eyeballs out of? I would probably go with DCEU, maybe this. A lot of shit stains to pick from. A lot of shit stains. I'm going to go Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad, off the top of my head. I'm sure there's something in there I'm not thinking of. And then if I had to pick the worst MCU movie, I mean, honestly, I would probably say The Eternals. I would just say that was the most drab, tiresome, worst experience of my life. I just wanted to fall asleep. That movie just did not do anything for me. I felt nothing, and I don't know why it was made. And I know you could say, like, you have Captain Marvel, you have, I don't know, Iron Man 2, and 18 other terrible MCU films in there. You have Thor Ragnarok. But I could easily sit down and watch any of those on a rainy day and go, yeah, that kind of sucked. But, I didn't hate my life watching it. It didn't make my eyeballs bleed. But the fucking Eternals, oh my God. Let me take a drink of this to wash the taste out of my mouth. Oh, we got Cosplay Chris in here. How's it going, Cosplay Chris, man? How you been, man? It's been a while. Here we go. Fun fact. Vegemite is also used as paint stripper and motor oil. I don't know if that's a joke, but I completely believe you 100%. That it made me instantly puke and gag. There's a video on YouTube of me trying Vegemite for the first time. I want to say it's on this channel, and it's called like Batman Unboxing or something like that. You see me holding a giant Batman figure Cosplay Chris created. But just so, don't even remind me of that, man. It's been years. I've been using sandpaper on my tongue every night to try to get rid of the taste. The next one comes from the Xmoda or the Xmoda. Here we go. New movie night videos? Question mark. Yes. So I hate myself. I'm terrible. I literally thought the Mario movie last week was coming out a week later than it was. And I had the idea to do a movie night of the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie, which I did see in theaters as a stupid little kid 3 times, because Super Mario World was my life growing up. Once I discovered Star World, I thought everything was possible. So I was going to do a movie night of that abomination, and there are some nostalgic redeeming qualities, I guess you could say. Whatever those are, I couldn't tell you. But I was going to do a movie night of that, and just like, I went to Orlando this weekend, and I didn't know where I was for 3 days, and I'm back now, so time kind of ran out, but movie nights, yes. My plan is, whenever there's a big movie coming up, I want to do a movie night to something that relates to it. So like if there's a sequel, I'll do one of the movies in the franchise, something along those lines. So I'm going to do more movie nights. Your name here says John Wick 4 had some sweet cars and motorcycles. What's the favorite car you've owned or would like to own? Man, I've had some cool, well, I wouldn't say cool. I guess they were cool to me at the time. In high school, I had a big lifted SUV. It was a Dodge Durango with a like 8-inch suspension lift on it. I had small man complex, or at least it looked like it did for a few months there. Really cool. Here it is. I got a picture on my phone here. This was my Dodge Durango. Now, it had 35-inch all-terrain tires. It had a grill guard. In the picture, I don't have the roof rack on it, but I had a all-terrain roof rack on it with like 8 fog lights on it. It was pretty badass. This is like 2006, so let's just... I know you can't see it because I hate... come on. Oh, there we go. See it? There you go. So yeah, that was a pretty sweet SUV, but anyway, that was one of the cooler cars I've had. Right now, I drive a Toyota CHR 2020. It's cool. It's a compact Toyota. It's reliable, and it sort of looks like a car that you would find in Rocket League. If you ever played the game Rocket League, it looks like one of the cars. That's sort of why I bought it in a weird way. Anyway, the next one comes from Claudia Rogajan. I'm writing a TMNT script for fun. Any suggestions? Yeah, don't make the Ninja Turtles look like 12-year-old kids based on Dustin from Stranger Things, like the new movie coming out does. Yeah, that would be one suggestion. Make Raphael badass, a little angry, kind of like what the original movie did. So yeah, those would be a few suggestions. Can you please put Super Shredder in it? I know. I like me some Super Shredder. I mean, as long as they eat pizza, I guess I'll be content. Guy from Kings Highway says, second night in my new apartment, do you get those strange and familiar vibes after moving? It's a powerful yet melancholy in a way. I unpacked quickly. When I moved, I did not unpack quickly because moving itself was so mentally and physically exhausting for me, where I just had to lay in my apartment with boxes scattered around. The only things I would unpack would be like a TV, a Blu-ray player, my bed, and that was it. Like I would just dig out of a pile of clothes for weeks, and I wouldn't even unpack my movies. I'd leave them all in the boxes. So whenever I wanted to watch a movie on my Blu-ray player that was just like half-assed slapped together, I would just dig through 8 boxes to find a movie. And it was so random. It was like the most random thing ever to find. Like, you had to dig through 7 boxes. You put your hand down there, you pull out a movie, you're like, I'm going to watch this shit. So whenever I've moved, and I've done it, I think 7 times now throughout 5 states, but who's counting? That's always the process I go in. And you know, the thing is, every time I've moved, I was really excited to move. It was always getting out of a situation to go somewhere else. So I always was sort of looking forward to the new destination. So no, I never really got that weird feeling whenever I moved into a new place. I mean, once or twice it was kind of weird, but I just got over it. But good luck, man. Good luck. I hope everything goes well with that move, man. Just order some pizza, watch a new movie in the place. I'm sure it'll feel like home in no time. Put up some posters, you know. The 50% Doctor Who podcast. Do you remember getting food poisoning from KFC? I do, in fact, remember that shit, and I'll never forget it, and that's the reason I haven't eaten at KFC since 2017. And by the way, KFC, if you're listening, go fuck yourself. You have greasy, disgusting chicken that made me vomit on Thanksgiving. Because why? I was all alone on Thanksgiving, and I went to KFC to get a nice, fresh, heart-filled cooked meal with some nice crispy chicken and mashed potatoes and cream corn and beans and macaroni and cheese and some biscuits. And I got home, I ate it, and 3 hours later I was puking my guts out. And I blame KFC for that. Now, if they want to sponsor me, I'll say differently. But for now, it's disgusting. But yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that vividly. And then I immediately, after I puked, went out and did a Black Friday video because, well, that's what I do. So, Jack Taylor says, "Good evening, Mr. Flick. I like that. Thoughts on Lord of the Rings trilogy? I like them. I do like them. It definitely takes an investment to sit down and watch the trilogy. You have to know you have 3 days of time to give to them, especially if you're watching the director's cut or the extended versions. I do like them. I'm not hardcore in love with them like some people are. I couldn't tell you every reference and every nod and every character's name off the top of my head, but generally speaking, I respect them as cinema. And I really like, the more I watch the first film, The Fellowship, the more it's sort of like my favorite of the trilogy. At one point, I thought Return of the King was my favorite, but I think I go back to the first one because there's something so comforting about when the movie starts out in the Shire, and I'm like, oh, just stay here. Just stay here. It's safe. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to go to Mordor. No, stay here. Live in your little hut. That's what I would do. So anyway, yeah, I like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. AMC is screening Return of the King this month for the 20th anniversary. That's pretty cool. I don't think I'd check it out. I'd probably stay home and watch it on 4K. But yeah, that's awesome, man. Jason Nelson says, what did you like better, John Wick 4 or The Raid 2? I saw The Raid 2 once, and I guess I could say the same thing about John Wick 4, but I would say maybe John Wick 4. Now, if you said the first Raid, we could have a debate here, but The Raid 2, I remember watching it. I remember some vague qualities about it. But I remember not liking it as much as the first movie. You know, the simplicity of it was kind of gone by that point. So I'm going to go with John Wick 4 as of right now. Aaron Nick says, hey, John, I don't know if you remember my super chat from the last live about me and my wife's honeymoon to Japan. I'm now back in Texas and just wanted to thank you for your words of encouragement about my flight phobia. All went well. Thanks, man. Well, I'm glad you made it and your plane didn't crash into a mountain. So good job. Now, I will say this. I was just on a plane a few days ago. And when you're sitting on a plane in a tube, 30,000 feet in the sky, going 500 miles per hour, and this plane, keep in mind, it looks dilapidated. It looks like it was built in the 1980s. The wings are just flapping like this. Some of the lights are flickering. The carpet's dirty. It's falling apart. And you're just like, this thing is held together by tape and bolts and a little bit of hope. And you gotta question how more planes don't come crashing out of the sky every day. I know that's a weird, dark thought, and I probably just lost monetization on this video, but I don't give a shit. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Whenever I'm on a plane flying, it's not real. Like, I literally feel like if ever the Matrix was a real thing where we're living in a simulation of things that just don't make sense, but somehow they just happen in reality. Next time you're on a plane, just sit there and look around. It doesn't make sense. You're held up in the sky by wind. Like, you're just flying. It doesn't. Oh, God. I was just sitting there thinking to myself, maybe I did take an edible before I got on the plane. I am going to say that. Okay, hear me out for a second. But when you're in a tube like that, it just doesn't feel like it should be. I don't know. I'm going to go to the next question. It just doesn't feel like it should. It feels like it needs to implode and blow up. I don't know. Anyone else feel the same way? I can't be the only one. It's just, when you look at them in the sky, you're like, how is that there? It should not be there. Like, people are not competent enough to pull that off. Have you seen people? Yes, I know why they give you oxygen on planes, but you know what they should give you? A parachute. I'm just putting it out there. At least I'd feel like I had a chance. But then again, jumping out of a plane on fire at 500 miles per hour probably wouldn't end well. But I'd like to try it once. The next one comes from Tom Hernandez. Have you seen Elf, Plane, Kill Bill, and Flight? Yes, 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 and yes. I have. I've seen them all. And real quick, one thing I want to talk about Elf, real quick, before we go on. Out of all those movies, do you like how that's the one I'm going to latch on to for a second? People love that movie as a Christmas classic. I don't like it. It's not that I hate it. I just don't like it very much. I don't know. Something about Will Ferrell's comedic vibe. He just acts like a 12-year-old boy has like ADD. It's just like, that's his thing, isn't it? And after you see it so many times, you're like, well, now he's dressed up like an elf doing it. I don't know. Just give me Home Alone. Shut Up Cat Productions, back again. Here we go. Okay. You asked for it. Yin is great, but after four movies, waves of people and surviving building falls, a blind guy who wins. Come on. In all seriousness, no Star Wars. Yeah, man, but I'll give you the same answer I gave you at MegaCon when you asked this question to the panel. He's Donnie fucking Yen. That's it. That's all I have to say. He's a real martial artist. And in the reality of John Wick, where just about anything's plausible and fall damage does not exist, Donnie Yen's hand-to-hand combat skills are real. Maybe his blindness isn't, but I feel like they explain that. So there you are. Andrew Grazioso. Okay, Andrew Graziosa. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but I'm sorry, Andrew. So here we go with your question. John, hope you're well, man. Sending good vibes. Have you seen the original Salem's Lot movie? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Man, I saw that originally when I started buying DVDs back in like 2010. And I had the little snapper case of it. And I remember it was out of print for a minute, so it was worth some money. But I have not watched it since then. Now, what I would like to do is go back and revisit it. I think they're remaking it. Aren't they remaking it or something in the something with Salem's Lot last time I checked? There's a movie, right? I swear I've seen that. Okay. But either way, yeah, I want to go back and revisit it because there's a lot of things I don't remember about it. And it was a weird time in my life when I watched it. So I would like to go back and revisit it. Bruce Cook says, KFC did not give you the mac and cheese. They forgot my mac and cheese. You're right. How do you remember this? That's what I'm talking about. There is shit when I was meeting people at MegaCon this weekend that were coming up to me and reminding me of videos I made 9 years ago. And I'm like, oh my God, how do you remember that? I did it. But that to me is like awesome. Like I was like, that means a lot. Thanks, man. But you're right. I think they did forget the mac and cheese. Those sons of bitches. Fuck you, KFC. If you're listening, Colonel Sanders, hope you're in a lot of agonizing pain right now. I hope your medulla oblongata hurts. MKF30 says, hey, John, did you hear Legendary Pictures bought the rights to Street Fighter future movies? Excited? Yes, I think there's a lot you could do with that. I truly think if someone that had creative direction or a good insight and actually knew what people wanted to see could make a kick-ass Street Fighter movie. Now, hear me out. Do you remember what they did in the Raid movie? Let's take a little something like that, sprinkle some Street Fighter on it, Hadoukens and all kinds of cool shit, and make a Street Fighter movie. That's what I would like to see. I think we would all cast Donnie Yen in that shit. I don't care who he plays. But yes, I would love to see a Street Fighter movie, and I hope it's better than that new Mortal Kombat abomination that was shit out of Hollywood 2 or 3 years ago, which was a huge letdown. So yeah, I did not know that, but thanks for telling me. Faisal Hades says, hey John, you do shows or on Whatnot selling Blu-rays? Hey John, you do shows on Whatnot? What is Whatnot? Oh, Whatnot. It's a selling app for movies. I had someone tell me about it, and it was sort of like I didn't comprehend what the point was. Like, I get that you're selling stuff like a live bidding thing, but hear me out. Hear me out for a second. What if, and I don't want to sell you guys things, but maybe I could do like an auction on a live stream for some movies. I don't know. Something like that could be cool. Let me know. Maybe we could try it. I don't know. Maybe we could make maybe we could make like the donations go to charity or something. You know, like even if it's like 10, 20 bucks or 30 bucks, whatever it is. Maybe we could do something like that. Where all the monetization on that live stream goes to charity, and I'll auction off some like Blu-ray movies. We could, I don't know. We could work I'm sure we could work something out like that. Let me know if you're interested. Let me know if that sounds like a good idea. Logistically, I have no clue how the hell I'm going to do it, but maybe I will. Aaron Nick says, hey, John, I saw you recently did a panel with fellow movie guy 3C Films. What was your experience meeting him in person, and do you think maybe we'll get a collab in the future? He's a really weird guy. A little clingy, a little touchy. No, he's cool, man. Nice kid. And I'll tell you the thing about 3C that I didn't know. I didn't know he watched my videos for many, many years, because he was really like, when we were sitting in the hotel room together, he's like, the flick pick is in front of me. I'm like, yeah, I'm here, man. Do you want to touch me? And he did. And it was a beautiful experience. I'll never forget it. But yeah, really nice guy, man. And he's killing it on YouTube. He really is. We talked about YouTube, and we did talk about a possible collab down the road, a project of sorts. So yeah, that could be a thing in the future. So who knows? The next one comes from Tom Hernandez. Have you seen Elf? Wait, did you just ask? Did you ask this already? Or am I... Okay, no, you did not. Here we go. Sorry. Night King 01 back at it again. Totally random, but for some reason I was watching clips of The Rock and Pain and Gain, and whoa, he was actually acting. By the way, the rest of the movie sucks. Yeah, The Rock sort of tried, I guess you could say, in Pain and Gain. He also tried in like Gridiron Gang, but he always seems like The Rock. But the thing I most remember about The Rock and Pain and Gain, that was the most jacked to the gills on testosterone and trenbolone he's ever been in his entire life, and I loved it. He looked like he was about to pop. Beautiful. It was glorious. I mean, I guess he was trying to act. He was cooking fingers on a grill. I don't know. Legion says, hey, I gotta get a pump. He didn't say that. He says, was hoping Eternals would flesh out mutants in the MCU a lot more. Yeah, they didn't really do much of that at all. You know what I'm waiting on in the MCU is just go through the motions. Let's get through the current phase of the MCU, whatever that is. Just bloop, bloop, bloop. Let's end it. Avengers, fucking whatever they're on now. Okay, it's done. And now we can start with the X-Men. Let's get a nice, fresh take with the X-Men. Let's please get it right, get the tone, get the vibe right of the X-Men. And I'm hoping that it takes place on a different world that's not this one, whatever one that is. And it's set in like the late 1980s, 1990s. Like, give us that version of the X-Men. I just feel like they can be a little bit more fantastical looking. They can wear their suits. It'll make sense to wear neon colors in the 1990s or the 1980s. And that's what I'm hoping to do with the X-Men, you know? So right now I'm sort of just going through the motions with the MCU to get to the X-Men. So what's that, like 4 years away until they can actually utilize the rights on film? I just want it now. All right, the next one comes from... Did I say I was going to do this for an hour? All right, I don't think I'm going to make it, but here we go. We still have like 20 questions I haven't gotten to because you guys are too awesome. All right, I'm going to take another drink of this. Hang on. And let's do it. Okay. Jack Taylor says, did you hear about the Michael Jackson biopic just announced this year? Directed by Training Day director Antoine Fuqua, should be a fantastic story. Thoughts on MJ? I mean, that lends itself to a really fascinating biopic, I would say. I don't think there's any other musician on the planet or that has ever existed in the music industry that would probably be a more interesting story to be told than Michael Jackson. I mean, if you just watch 7 seconds of him in any documentary, he's truly like fascinating. Like a little bit eerie, yes, but fascinating. So that's going to be a tough one to get right. And I think they're like casting his nephew or something in the role. That's the only way I think the family would give the rights. I don't know if his nephew's an actor, couldn't tell you, but I'm intrigued to see it. I'm hoping that I have a feeling that they're going to gloss over a lot of the less than PG-13 aspects of his life. And, you know, I get it. I just don't want them to glorify everything. I want them to tell the real story while glorifying his talent as a musician. But I'd like to see some of the drama that actually unfolded in his life. And I'm hoping that they don't gloss over that shit like it seems they do in every musical biopic nowadays. Because no one wants a real gritty story. They don't want the real shit. No. They want the happy-go-lucky, regurgitated baby food put into a blender for easy mass consumption. That's what they want. Talking to you, Freddie Mercury movie. All right. The next one comes from Aaron Nick. John, do you have any tips on editing fatigue? Yeah, I just don't do it. For me, listen, sometimes there's videos where I'm like excited to edit them, but usually when it comes down to like a movie review video, it's just you're going through the motions to get all your thoughts connected. And sometimes there's like a fun little edit you add in there, like a little funny joke with a sound effect, but man, I get fatigued editing often. And I think that's why I do the live streams, to be honest with you. Not only do I enjoy doing them more than normal videos or pre-recorded videos, but I don't have to edit this shit. It's beautiful. It's glorious. It's unadulterated. So I would say just take a break. Or, you know what? In your videos, try to do something that's fun and creative where you want to go edit it. Like, oh, that was fun. I'm going to add some music there and a sound effect. Just try to find little glimmers of like creative little inspirations you can throw in your video that are fun to edit. You know, like a talking head video is not fun to edit, or at least for me, it's not. I love creating videos, but when it comes time for editing, sometimes just get so bored. Yeah, man, take a break, listen to some music. I don't know, and then come back to it. Sometimes that's what I've done. Whenever I've been editing a video too long and my eyes start to just roll in the back of my head, I get up and I take a walk. I just like go outside, or I go in my backyard and scream, something like that. That feels nice. Bruce Cook says, John, worst MCU movie, Morbius. Yeah, I just call it, but that's a Sony movie to me. That's a Sony movie. And yeah, it's a big pile of fucking shit. Guy from Kings Highway says, I gotta quit weed so I can super chat you more. Man, listen, I'm not going to take away from your drug addiction, all right, to add to mine. I'm a real dude, all right? I'll keep it real. You keep doing you. Just keep watching. That's all you got to do. All right. Seth Hall says, "Hey, how are you doing, John? Do you think of the new Across the Spider-Verse what did I think of the newest Across the Spider-Verse trailer? I didn't watch it. I just didn't watch it, to be honest with you. I don't go out of my way to watch trailers anymore, unless it's something I'm really looking forward to. And for that, I'll see. I saw the previous trailer in the theater and on YouTube 14 times. So I'm sure I'll see the trailer soon. And I didn't watch it. Was it good? So, sorry, Seth. I wish I had more to say for your super chat there, man, but I didn't see it yet. I just haven't. I'm sort of at a point where I like to savor the flavor for the movie in the theater. I really do, unless I can't. Tom Hernandez says, top 5 fast food chains. Also, did EEAAO deserve BP? Okay, that's a lot of abbreviations going on. Can someone tell me what that means? Did EEAAO deserve BP? It's late, man. I don't know. What does that mean? But my top 5 fast food chains are probably going to be Chick-fil-A, Panda Express, though it kind of tastes like Chinese cardboard nowadays. Burger King is sort of like my go-to because it's close to my house. Number 4, fast food chains. I think that's all I have. Oh, Wendy's every once in a while, though I don't eat it often. And number 5, whenever I'm sleeping, I can't pronounce Texas. Whataburger. How's that? Oh, everything everywhere all at once. Oh, God, thank you guys for that. My brain could just not do that. Did it deserve Best Picture? It probably wouldn't have been my Best Picture, though I completely understand why it won. It's one of those wins where you go, oh, yeah, I get it. Completely makes sense. It was in my top 5 of the year. Really enjoyed it, but I don't know if it would be my number 1 of the year. But I understand why it was. It did everything just right. Bo Cylinder says, I find it interesting that Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix both got an Oscar for playing the same role. That's all I have to say about that. You rock. Well, yeah, but the character of the Joker lends itself to a great performance. There's so much meat on the bone there as an actor can give that performance. He's a sociopath. He's crazy, but at the same time, he can be slightly grounded. It's the perfect culmination of all these different things an actor can give in one performance that just lends itself to being nominated. It's like that's some of the best characters of all time. Like insane characters where they're a little bit psychotic and sociopathic, but yet intelligent and articulate. It's sort of like Hannibal Lecter, for example. There you go. Look how many Academy Awards that movie won back in the early 90s. So I just think there's something about psychotic characters that lend themselves perfectly to like a great performance. Like that's why I think I like Nightcrawler so much. Jake Gyllenhaal got to be sort of a sociopath, but a likable sociopath. It's an intriguing, weird, fine line to ride. Dustin Rich says, watch the first 30 minutes of Neon Demon, John. If you don't want to finish it, I'll give you $30. What do you have to lose? I did watch the first 30 minutes, and I didn't want to finish it. So if you'd like to PayPal me right now, it's at the Flick. No, I'll try it out, man. I will. I've heard good things. It's one of those movies I just never continued on. It's not because I don't even remember. I think I watched it. Did I watch it? I think I did. Oh, no. Neon Demon. My brain just melted there. Let's look this up. Yeah, the Nicholas Winding Refn movie. Okay, yes. I'll watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. I'll give it a watch. After Only God Forgives, man, he kind of tainted me a little bit. I don't know. I love me some Dry, but did you guys like Neon Demon? Let me know in the chat right here. John, did you check out WrestleMania? I did indeed. I did indeed. I enjoyed night one, pretty good. Night two, a lot of shit went wrong. The Hell in a Cell, people's heads got cracked open. Crazy stuff, except it kind of killed the match. And I was hoping Cody Rhodes would win. It felt like the right time, but I don't know. There's a lot of things going on with WWE right now. With they were purchased recently by the same investment company who owns the UFC, so it's kind of a weird time right now. But yeah, I liked most of it. I really liked the set in Los Angeles. I thought that was really cool, but it was a pretty good WrestleMania. I thought last year's was probably way better. Claudia Rogajon says, I'm debating what to do with Shredder. Make him a classic Shredder or make him an alien like the 2003 show, which I grew up on because they did him well. If it was up to me, I probably would make Shredder an alien. There's something just giving him a little more humanity as a villain, I think makes him more relatable. Now, if you want to put aliens and crazy shit in your TMNT, there's so many other side characters you can do that with. I don't think Shredder needs to be. I think human Shredder is always the better Shredder, just in my opinion. Will H says, John, has any horror movie scene ever gave you chills or made you curl up in the fetal position from being scared? I remember having chills from the cornfield scene in Signs with Mel Gibson shines a flashlight at the alien's leg. Ooh, that's good shit. So the one I always go back to, and off the top of my head, I'm sure there's a dozen others, but the one that always just sort of like gave me this eerie vibe was in the original Nightmare on Elm Street film when the body bag is being dragged down the school hallway. And there's just something about the way that was filmed and the lighting and just the film grain and just the location of that school itself. It just felt so eerie to me. And it's one of those things where every time I walk down the hallway of like an old building, I get this surreal feeling that I'm in that scene, and it just gives me like little goosebumps. So that's always one that's it's sort of always just hit me different. The next one comes from Shut Up Cat Productions once again. To be frank, you giving my pop away makes me sad. $35, laugh out loud. I didn't give it away, man. I still got it. Man. I didn't give it away. You paid $35 for that? I thank you for that. I have it. It's in my garage right now in my bag. I still have it, man. He got me the Luchador Bane pop. Funko Pop at Comic-Con. It's really cool, man. The next one comes from Aaron Nick. Hey, John. I know in the past you talked about creatine and how it did little to nothing to help you. Has your opinion changed any? I'm thinking about trying it, but I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my money/time. It's up to you, man. It just makes working out more fun. The only thing creatine does for your muscle is it just gives you a little more water in your muscle tissue. That way your muscles don't get dehydrated as quick. The lactic acid doesn't build up as quickly. And you might maybe get one more rep out of it. For me, I'm a very sensitive person to things like chemicals and creatine. So when I took it, I noticed it sort of gave me like a water retention bloatiness ever so slightly. And I didn't like that. You know, I work out to get lean and mean. I don't want to look bloated. So if you want to try it out, try it out. Won't hurt you. Andrew Weezer says, Blue Beetle trailer. Also, Disney killed the MCU. Yeah, they did. Disney's killing everything they touch, aren't they? Like the plague. I talked about the Blue Beetle trailer earlier on for like 5 minutes in this live show. It's okay. I don't hate it. It kind of looks like the poor man's kitty version of Iron Man, sort of, kind of. I like that it has McGill from Cobra Kai in it, who we did see at MegaCon. So yeah, it's okay. I'll watch it. Do I wish it was coming straight to streaming on HBO Max? Yes, but I'll check it out. Night King 01 says, recommendation from the Warriors director Nick Nolte, Michael Ironside, Clancy Brown, A Suicide Mission, and Shootouts Galore. Extreme Prejudice, 1987. I believe I watched that shit on beta tape that my dad recorded it in the early 1990s, but I have not seen it since, man. So I would like to go back and rewatch that. So not a bad movie recommendation, man. I might put that on the to-do list because it's been a long time since I've seen that. I don't remember much about it. But Nick Nolte, can't do wrong. It's a real nice thing what you did for that boy in that tank, Tommy. Have you ever seen the movie Warrior? Phenomenal. Edward Nito says, and by the way, Edward, very generous super chat, man, and all of you guys. You guys are nice. Why are you guys so good to me? Why are you so good to me? All right, here we go. Sup, John? Do you remember the old school HBO opening credit sequence? Oh, not only do I remember it, I vividly dream about it every night. When I fall asleep, that's how I go into dreamland. I glide over a little miniature city, then I go over the hills, and I see the big HBO Max logo coming at me sideways, and then it just churns. And then all of a sudden I see the stars, and I'm off to dreamland. Fuck yes, I remember that. And if you're really bored at some point, they have a making of that on YouTube if you want to watch it. So yeah, the original HBO intro from the early 1990s, that's how I remember movies. And you know what I would like? And I know this is, I would love if someone could recreate something like that as an intro for me on YouTube for like movie nights. Oh, I know it wouldn't be easy. That would be a lot of work. But if you know somebody who knows somebody, let me know. Oh, yeah, that was sexy. Anyway, here it goes. It used to play before the feature presentation in the 1980s. Brings back memories of simpler times. Not only simpler times, better times. And I'll be honest with you, the way I discovered so many movies in my childhood was because we had HBO, right? We weren't rich, trust me, but we always had HBO. I remember that. And I think because of that, every Saturday on HBO, or maybe it was Friday, they always had a new movie that played. And I remember looking forward to it all week. I was like, oh, the new movie on HBO this week. And that's how I discovered so many great movies throughout the 90s. So I would like to say HBO had a small role in that. And by the way, this video is sponsored by HBO Max. Thank you. No, it's not. Though I did do a sponsorship for them like 3 years ago. Anyway. Jesus, how's it going, man? Do you still watch American Psycho every night? And what's your interpretation of the ending? Listen, a lot of people say it didn't happen, right? And I think the director herself has come out and said it didn't happen, and she wishes that she would have done a better job of showing that in the film. But me, the sociopath I am, and the fanboy of Patrick Bateman, I like to tell myself a lot of it did happen. And I think some of it did. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying some of that happened. So the plausible moments happened. The craziness did not. And I know the director herself, and maybe even the writer of the novel, will say some of it didn't, but I'm going to disagree with him. I think some of it did, and I like to believe so. And do I watch it every night? No, not every night. Perfect date movie. Perfect date movie. First date, have her watch American Psycho. She'll think you're crazy, maybe utterly insane. Here the next one goes. What is that? I don't know. It's getting late. Pokemon Lover says, I already like where this is going. Would you blow Charizard? No, he didn't say that. He said, I really enjoyed John Wick 4 and laughed out loud every time he said his one-liners. Yeah, I think I'm back. I loved it, man. It was good stuff. For me, Keanu Reeves' line delivery made the movie all more enjoyable, or all more that memorable. Yeah, Keanu was really pushing the limits of his like stilted bad acting, but we love it. It's still good to me. But he was just hamming it up. It was good stuff. I really don't change a thing ever. Same thing goes to you, Nicolas Cage, because I know he's watching right now. Bruce Cook says, John, chilling scene, The Exorcist, mother on the phone in the kitchen while Regan is coming down the stairs upside down on her hands. Or Reagan. Yeah, dude, I haven't seen The Exorcist in a long time. I remember that. I also remember a little head spinning around saying your mother sucks dicks in hell. It was all phenomenal stuff. The next one comes from John. If you had a good guy doll, would your girlfriend be comfortable with it in the same room with her, or would she be creeped out? I think if I had a good guy doll and he actually came to life and he was a murdering psychopath serial killer like Chucky is, I think that would be phenomenal. And I'm going to tell you why. Listen, hear me out. Hear me out for a second. I would be cool. Like, you just got to be cool with it, right? It's like, hey man, listen, you go do your thing tonight. You come home, you protect the house when I'm not here. You feed the cats. Do your thing, Chucky. You do whatever you want. I'll take care of you, man. I'll be your friend to the end. Just protect me. Kill whoever you want. You don't need a Ring camera in front of your house anymore. You have a good guy doll. You have Chucky. That would be phenomenal. I never understood why the kids couldn't get along with him more. I mean, yeah, he might want to possess my soul, but that's a small price to pay. Just putting it out there. Yeah, I have some new 4Ks. I'm going to put it in a new Flick Trip video. I think I said that a week ago, but they are in the Flick Trip video. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the live show with just like one more question. I think we have technically three more questions. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up I'm going to answer the rest of the questions. So don't submit any more questions right now. I'm going to try to get through as many as I can for the next 5 minutes. Here we go. But I'm going to get through them all. Here we go. Shut Up Cat Productions, back at it again. Okay, last one. Should have done Dylan, you son of a bitch. 2, Carl Weathers at con. Hey man, it's yours. Do what you want. Just letting you know it wasn't cheap. Okay, talk to you later. Man, I do appreciate the pot figure. I most importantly appreciate you coming up and talking to me. And also, I really appreciate meeting your dad, who himself was a pretty cool guy. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm telling you, Shut Up Cat Productions' dad, he feels like an enforcer in a mafia movie. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, here's my kid. Nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you. Come on, let's go. Your dad was phenomenal, man. I loved him. That's how he talked. It was great. But thanks for the pot figure, man. And yeah, a Dutch or a Dylan figure would have been great. Except Carl Weathers charges $300 to sign that shit. But thanks for the questions, man. Claudia Rojan says the director of American Psycho said it all did happen and she wished she showed that better, not the other way around. Yeah, but here's the flaw in that. Here's the flaw in that opinion. There's no way Patrick Bateman had a shootout with a pistol and blew up cop cars and then ran around town. That is the most nonsensical, far-fetched illusion in his own mind that you could possibly come up with. So to say that happened, that's too much of a stretch for that film. To say that he ran down the hallway with a chainsaw screaming covered in blood, I think that's too far-fetched. That's too far. I don't care what she said. My interpretation of the film is some of it did and some of it didn't. But that's the great thing about the film. It's ambiguous. So if she wants to say that, that's fine. But then she definitely didn't do a good job of showcasing it being real whatsoever. Louis Sir says, have you seen Cobra starring Stallone? I'm watching it right now. Of course I've seen that shit like 7 times, man. That's good stuff. Now, that movie's terrifying. When you have the Night Stalker cult with their axes just killing people, scary shit. Also, Stallone all but directed that film. Like, I know he's not credited as a director, but he basically directed that film. Now, originally in Hollywood, there was like 8 other actors they wanted to play that role. And originally it was supposed to be kind of like a comedy movie, I remember. And then Stallone sort of took over and did his own thing and they put like a really dark twist on it. But yeah, man, I've seen Cobra many of times. Shut Up Cat Production says, peace, man. Well, take care, man. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you at MegaCon. Here we go. Claudio Rogajon. And by the way, wrap up the questions, guys, because I got to go shower. I'm feeling a little bit greasy. All right, here we go. I'm going to answer these questions. Claudio Rogajon says, I just want you to learn how to read, John. Here it goes. Just wanted to let you know your TMNT knowledge. Dude, I cannot. Let me turn my computer screen. Here we go. Now I can see it. Just wanted to know your TMNT knowledge. Are you familiar with the Purple Dragons gang? No. They have never gotten their due on the screen except in 2003 show they're a gang that's in the Shredder's pocket. Man, I know the Foot. I didn't watch the 2003 cartoon. I know the movies. I know the animated show in the 90s. That's what I know from TMT. I know the video games. I know Turtles in Time. But no, I didn't watch. I don't know everything about the TMNT universe. I just don't. Also in the early 2000s, I was a teenager. I was driving. I was trying to Ninja Turtles just was not my thing in the early 2000s, man. But now it is. Faisal Hades says, you should definitely watch Neon Demon if you like to experience something different and unique. Very underrated. I like to experience something unique and different, just not as pretentious. But I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying Nicholas Winding Refn got a little bit pretentious and Only God Forgives, and it kind of killed him a little bit for me. All right, the next one comes from Night King 01. John, I watched Roadhouse 2 days ago, and man, I'm worried for the remake. It looks like some weird action movie, not badass bouncer film. Yeah, that's my fear, is they're going to try to make it too watered down and bland, and they're not going to make it as outrageous as it should be. You need that outrageous shit to make it a Roadhouse movie. Push the limits of testosterone as far as you possibly can, and once you get there, you rip a fucking dude's throat out, you roundhouse kick him in the ass, and he falls into the water. That's what I want to see, and if they don't do it, why even make it? So I feel the same way. I feel like Jake Gyllenhaal, the fact that he's going to be in it, I have some faith in it, but we'll see. Fidel Reyes, how's it going? I'm going to Austin this July. I'll be watching Barbie and Oppenheimer down there. Hopefully I get to check out Oppenheimer in a true IMAX theater. You and me both, man. That's my goal. If I have a screening of it, I'll see it wherever I can. But man, if I have the choice, give me that IMAX experience, baby. Please, I need to see it. But yeah, have fun down in Austin, man. What film festival is there in? Is there a film festival there, or just what? I don't know. Isn't there a film festival there in July? Or was there one there is it fall? I don't remember. The last one comes here. Okay, we got one from MKF30. John, one movie that doesn't do time travel well at all was Donnie Darko. The Steel Oak comes with a book that has to examine it to you. I think that's bad. Laugh aloud. I don't remember the time travel details of Donnie Darko. I do remember Patrick Swayze being a predator. I don't remember all the details of time travel in that movie. A lot of people say Endgame doesn't do time travel very well either, but hey, I still enjoy it. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the live show there. I just want to make sure I didn't get any last questions. Michael says it's really not pretentious, just kind of grotesque. I like grotesque, but not as much as I like Waterworld starring Kevin Costner, which I'm going to go watch in my bed, and I'm looking forward to that. So either way, guys, I do want to say thanks for hanging out for a couple of hours. Thanks for the questions, and anyone who donated a super chat, honestly, thank you. And like I said in the beginning, if I saw you at MegaCon, it was nice to see your beautiful, magical, mystical faces. And also, it was nice to hang out with everybody tonight. Have a good night. One last question here from Gilia Beach Holland, who says, watch Fall last night. Not too good and full of plot holes. Yeah, Fall was okay. I enjoyed it. It was actually a pleasant surprise. They're making a sequel. They're going to climb something tall again and probably fall off of it, but I'm okay with that. So I enjoyed Fall, actually. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. All right, guys. Try not to climb to the top of a radio tower. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Night, night.